Hi, this is Cynthia with Triumphant and Treasured. We're talking about this book, Walk with a Widow, which is designed to facilitate the process of a non-widow engaging with a widow. We give you and we help empower widows basically and tell you ways in which you can empower widows. We educate you on ways you can minister to a widow. And now we'd like to talk about preparing for widowhood. Most married couples do not have a conversation about death. So on page 48 and 49 of this book, if you just start reading together, you can start a conversation on how to prepare for death and all the nitty-gritty minutiae details that have to be dealt with in anticipation of one person leaving the other behind. That's inevitable, folks. There is no way around it. And it is so difficult to navigate grief. And there's nothing you can do to prepare, to truly prepare for the death of a loved one. Yet, we talk to you about things that you can do to help prepare for the things that you can plan for. The finances, the minutia that goes with running a household. What are those details? What does that look like? Who handles that now? How is the surviving spouse going to handle it? All of this is hard enough for one person to be dealing with without the input or the sounding board of the other person. Now throw in the factor of grief. And you're not leaving this in the hands of a capable person anymore. You're leaving all of this in the hands of a grieving person. And grief has a way of interfering with your ability to process information. So everything you do ahead of time only helps the person who's left behind to navigate the grief journey a whole lot easier. I've heard all kinds of reasons for not talking about this. I've heard where people talk about, well, we're young, or we're just married, or we will have time. We can do this somewhere later in our 30s, 40s, and 50s. Well, let me tell you, death is not a respecter of age. I have seen people lose their spouse very early in their marriage, and a lot of unattended and undiscussed aspects of surviving widowhood are left to be dealt with by the now grieving widow. I have heard people talk about how they can't discuss some of these things because their spouse now has a terminal illness. And if they talk about these issues, it's just going to make it seem like you want this person to die. Folks, you can't make anybody die with your discussions, just as you can't save their lives by choosing not to discuss death. The reality is, it's all about the practical ramifications of losing a spouse. It's about the practical consequences of not discussing and not having these dialogues. So if you are young or you have a family member that's really young preparing to marry, I strongly recommend this be part of their marriage preparation. Discuss very important matters like the purchase of a home, the title of a home, the title of the cars, life insurance, the different types of life insurance. Discuss funeral arrangements. Discuss who gets the care of your children in the event of both of you passing away. Just discuss all the nuances that make you uncomfortable. Because when you start talking about these things very early in your marriage, it's so easy to go back every year and let's have an anniversary update. This preparation is the biggest and best gift you can give your spouse. Preparation is the best act of love that you can demonstrate to your spouse. So don't be afraid to have these conversations about death, because all you are doing is ensuring that the surviving spouse has the best possible outcome in terms of navigating the grief journey. So please feel free to purchase a copy of this book, available on Amazon, and read pages 48 and 49, which talk about preparing for the inevitable. And do your homework. Do what it takes to care for your spouse while you are alive, and to care for your spouse after you have gone. God bless you, and we will see you at our next video.